Derick Henry. All right. Brian Westbrook back with us. Brian, you were on Rodgers as the MVP weeks before any of us saw it, but Brandon made a great case yesterday for Derick Henry. So, Brandon, can you convince former running back Brian Westbrook that current running back Derick Henry should win MVP this year?
Yeah, I think I can, Jenna. Brian, I know you were early on the Aaron Rodgers MVP train. You know, we had a conversation months ago, and Nick and I laughed at you. Jenna asked us the question, guys, who's the MVP right now? And we talked about Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, and then it got to you, and you said, you know what, it's Aaron Rodgers, and this is why. And we laughed. We totally laughed in your face. So I get it. But, B, you're a running back. If Derick Henry doesn't win MVP this year, then we need to change this title, the title of this award. It needs to become the quarterback award, because this is a guy that's in a fraternity of two when it comes to what he did this year. 2,000 rushing yards and 15-plus rushing touchdowns. That's it. You have Terrell Davis, who also won the MVP award, and that's it. When you look at the quarterback position, we've seen this before. We've seen this several times. So, B, you need to use your platform, which is an amazing platform. You're well-respected, not only at the player level, but you're respected in the media. You're respected by owners. Yep. You're respected by general managers. This is a bigger conversation. You have a responsibility to the running back fraternity to talk about the significance of what this kid did, B. So I'm going to pass it to you really quickly. But think about the injury rate in the NFL, B. Like, you have to stand up, and you have to stand up right now. Derick Henry is the clear-cut MVP. It shouldn't be a discussion.
Come on, Brian. What can you say to that,
I have to be honest with you. I love everything that you said, but here's the problem. Because you and Nick did what you did to me months ago, I can't side with you now. You guys laughed in my face. You made fun of me. You said bad things about me. You're in production meetings calling me bad names, things like that. I can't side with you now. But I will say this. You're absolutely right about this award. And you're absolutely right about Derick Henry. There's only been 3 running backs in the last 20 years that have won the MVP award. Sean Alexander, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Adrian Peterson. And there certainly have been other guys that deserve consideration. But you're right, and I can't lie about this. All the other guys that have won the 17 times, they've been all quarterbacks. That's because the league is meant for the quarterback to be successful. They make the most money. They're going to get the most attention. They're going to get the most blame and the most credit for when you win. That's just the name of the game. And I don't think that we're in a position to blame Aaron Rodgers because of the system. We can't blame Aaron Rodgers because of the system. The system says the best quarterback, if he has an amazing year, he's going to be the MVP, despite a running back like Derick Henry having a season that deserves consideration for an MVP. It's the system. It's not Aaron Rodgers. It's just the system.
Okay, I want to address the Derick Henry thing in just a moment. But I just want the audience to marinate in the moment we had at the very beginning of this segment, where we now are in a world where, according to the gamblers, there is not one quarterback that had a better season than Patrick Mahomes. There's 2, and one of them is Josh Allen. And I want everyone to understand, and I think deep down they know it, how stupid this is going to look in 5 weeks when Patrick Mahomes has the Super Bowl MVP trophy in one hand, the Lombardi trophy in the other, and he's doing the LeBron James look around, how do you like me now? And people are going to try to memory hole the whole, you know what? I think Josh Allen might be the best quarterback in the AFC. Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers. Patrick Mahomes just sitting there saying, oh, my bad, we clinched the 1 seed a week before Christmas, so I stopped having to try or even play. So there's that. But to Brandon's point, which is bigger than the Rodgers, Mahomes, Allen discussion, I think it is a great one. And it is a corollary to this. Wilds, do you know what the most prestigious award the NFL gives out is? The hardest to win award the NFL gives out for on the field. I'm not talking about Walter Payton, but for on the field performance. Do you know what it is?
Yes, I do, because you mentioned it yesterday, Defensive Player of the Year.
It's Defensive Player of the Year. That's correct. And here's why. You have 11 starters on 32 teams. So you've got, what is that? 352 guys, theoretically, who could win that award. Because we've seen D tackle win it, that's Aaron Donald. Defensive end, J.J. Watt. Outside linebacker, Khalil Mack. Inside linebacker, Brian Urlacher. Safety, Charles Woodson. Corner, and Troy Polamalu. Corner last year, Stephon Gilmore. Every single position is eligible for that award. To Brandon's point, Wilds, if you want to win the MVP, you're competing, really, with at most 40 guys, 32 starting quarterbacks, a handful of running backs. That's it. Because, and really these days, just quarterbacks. The NFL, the voters, the 50 MVP voters, have made the MVP award quarterback of the year. Just like in the NBA, the MVP voters have made the MVP award best player other than LeBron James, who's obviously the MVP. So it's like we need to either reframe or redo these awards, Wilds, because it shouldn't. I think Brandon makes a good point that if Derick Henry is 4th in the betting odds, meaning he has no chance, then he had no chance coming into the year. He was ineligible for it going into the year because he could not have done more.
Yeah, well, Brian, I want to take it to extremes just to make a point. He was 79 yards away from breaking Eric Dickerson's record. I know you're locked into your take integrity or Aaron Rodgers. If he broke Eric Dickerson's record, would you give him the award? And if the answer is no, what if he smashed Eric Dickerson's record? What if he went, 200 yards over Eric Dickerson's record? Then would you give him an award? So that's 2 questions, and I'll put a little cherry on top here. What could he have done where you said, you know what, this is his, I know Aaron Rodgers did a great job, but this is his award?
There's nothing that he could have done to win this award. Again, the system is already set up that the best quarterback is more than likely going to win this award. I do want to point out this, and this is credit to Derick Henry. The way that he runs for 16 weeks is hard-nosed, smash-mouth football, physical, nasty football. To be able to play a whole season and be as productive as he was, the physical nature and have as many yards, that's impressive. That certainly is MVP worthy.
I just want to end with this because I'm passionate about this discussion, and I think we need to have this discussion, amongst the NFL circles. All right. I go back a couple weeks, Carolina game, I think it was Thursday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers threw for 143 yards, didn't do much, and they still won the game. Derick Henry, he led his team to 11 wins. They don't have that amazing defense like they had last year. They have Derick Henry. That's who they have. That's it. Derick Henry won those 11 games on his back. That's how they got it done. So when you look at it, and I know it's a bigger discussion to break down individual games and seeing who impacted those games more, but that's just an illustration to show the significance of Derick Henry on his team. We're talking about most valuable player, and then also Aaron Rodgers. Derick Henry, he's one of 2. Aaron Rodgers is one of 20 guys that's done what he's done. So to me, we need to have that discussion, and we need to change our approach to the MVP.
Doesn't value running backs. That's the takeaway. No.
Moving on, it looks like it's going to be Trevor time in Jacksonville. Does that make the Jaguars the best of the 6 head coach open?